Howdy y'all, today is December 2nd. It feels great out. Actually, I think it's only in the 40s, but I'm running around just trying to get chores done real quick. And it feels pretty good out, really. Howdy y'all, today is December 4th. I'm currently working on getting the chickens done, moving the coops and whatnot. When I walked out here, I walk up on the pearl white coop first, and I saw a bunch of white feathers, more than normal. And when I looked in the coop, there was one bird that was gone. So I'm thinking it was the one with the prolapse a couple months ago. That's what looks like what happened again. So yeah, she didn't make it, which is too bad. Honestly, she went way further and longer than I thought she would have. Because typically once they have a prolapse, it happens again pretty quick. But I've got her laying here. I'm gonna go run her out to the compost pile. Howdy y'all, today is December 5th, out here moving the chickens, and this pearl white coop still has a ton of feathers in it. I don't quite know why. It's a little weird. Yesterday when I found that chicken that was gone, there were a lot of feathers. You can kind of see the remains there, but we're back up to a bunch of feathers in this coop. I don't know what's going on with that. Just got the coop moved and you can see all the feathers a little better. Right now that coop is nice and clear. There's feathers in the nesting boxes. So, I don't know. I'm gonna keep an eye on these guys. Something weird's going on. Chickens are all done out here. I looked around for any sort of ground predator that may be messing with the pearl white coop here. And I'm not seeing any tracks or anything worn down, because that would get the chickens all riled up. Also looking around just at the birds in general. They all look fine. They're not beat up or tattered. Potentially the rooster's getting a little frisky, or maybe the roosters are just chasing each other back and forth, riling the hens up. I don't think that's it, but it's a possibility. And then they'd be losing feathers that way. Maybe it's an aerial predator, and this V is a nice perch for them to sit on, and it freaks just this coop out, and that's why they're flipping around. Maybe the chickens are pulling their own feathers out, but nobody's molting or doing anything. Or the only other thing is someone else messing with them, coming in and trying to snatch chickens. I don't think that's the case, but I don't know. Those are the only potential things I can think of there as to why there's so many feathers. I'll go back. Good thing about doing all these YouTube videos is I have 1,000,001 pictures and videos of all my chickens. So I'll count and just make sure they're all in there. And after that, I don't really know what it could be. So it's kind of weird, but I'll just keep an eye on them. As a general rule for chickens, I don't like using straw for bedding for a number of reasons. But since I have a ton of bales still left over, I'm going to go ahead and use one bale right now for bedding. The chickens are young, so it doesn't look like a nesting box, a big massive nesting box. I'm not too worried about that. But also this can mat down pretty thick with the chickens if they're not able to turn it really well. But I think they'll be able to. Plus it's a bottom layer, so it's not too big of an issue at the moment. So I'm going to use this and spread it all out. Nice fresh layer. It took just about a bale, so that was perfect. If I were to put some straw in the nesting boxes, it would have used up the entire thing. So that looks pretty nice. We'll see how it does. Hopefully it doesn't slick down too bad. Chickens are all done. Now when I came into the barn, put some stuff down on the workbench, I saw this, a little bit of scrap wire, which clearly means that there is some sort of fun project going on. And my dad and brother were out here the other day, and I wasn't. So I have a feeling I know what they started on. It was a couple of videos ago. I don't even know if I put the clip in, but I was trying to decide between two different projects, whether it was the fence, to keep working on that, or another project, and that one is upstairs. Let me show you. So here is the start of a room, which is going to be super nice to have something that will be just an even temperature, because this barn either gets super hot or super cold. This will turn into an office. This is the outside wall here. Over here is going to be the door. Don't know the size yet. And then the 2 walls there, outside walls. And as far as the ceiling in here, just making it flush on the trusses there. Gonna insulate all the top. And it looks like they got in a few outlets. So we got one there, and the start of one there. So that is super cool. I am looking forward to this project. So I've been mapping this project out for a little while now, just finding the time to do it. It's a perfect winter project, so probably just slowly work on it, as well as the fence. Those are kind of the 2 projects that I want to just keep things moving on. There's no real timeline to get anything done here. It's just work on it here and there when it's not super cold out. Or if it's rainy or snowy, just work on something in here if we're bored. Out walking the driveway, and I can't believe it, but I have grass growing out here. I need to blow this off a little better. There are still just a ton of feathers in here. What I'm thinking is the egg production did just slow down for these gals the past week or 2. So maybe they are just starting to shed some feathers here and there. I can't really tell it on them so much. Kind of dirty. That's the only thing I can think of, because I'm just not seeing evidence of anything else. The pearl whites are acting just fine, so hopefully everything's good. Don't have to worry about them. And they're just doing a molt. So next on the to-do list is to make a candy board for my bees for emergency feed. I made this last year, and I think I popped it on the end of November. I'm holding back just a little longer this year because most of the bees just went straight for the sugar and not any of their stores. So this thing held up just fine, worked great. I need to build another one. And yeah, we'll mix up some sugar, a little bit of vinegar, and water, and then we'll pack it in here good and tight. I don't know about this hole I drilled. I drilled that for ventilation. I might go ahead and plug that up. But yeah, I go ahead and put down this trash bag here just so the sugar doesn't fall through and make a mess. It's surprisingly not as sloppy as you think it'd be, but let me go grab all the supplies and we'll get to it. So in my bucket, currently I have 16 cups of sugar. Now I'm gonna add just a little bit of water, splash of vinegar, and mix it all up. So my 16 cups of sugar, 1.5 cups of water, and splash of vinegar is pretty much all mixed up here. Just going for a consistency where you could make a snowball. And then we'll put it in the frame. I'm just gonna pack it in nice and tight, right on top of this wire frame here. So I've got it all packed in here now, and I'm gonna let it sit for the rest of the day, and then tomorrow we'll check it out. It should be good and hard, and then we will pop it on a hive. Howdy y'all, today is December 7th. We're in the 50s. It's a little too muddy to be doing much planting. I'm hoping it'll dry out today, so that way tomorrow I can finish putting those bulbs in. I gotta till up one more little section, and I think I have about 4 bags left. So I'd like to get that done tomorrow because the following day it's gonna rain. So it's kind of the last chance I think to get it done. But honestly, we've been pretty lucky on the weather, so I'm not complaining. Tomorrow is gonna be, I think, 55, so that's pretty nice. Still a lot of feathers here in the pearl white coop, but all seems to be normal. This little Australorp right here, when I was coming in bringing their food and water, she just started attacking my feet. Picked her up, pet her for a while. She was loving it, fell asleep. She's just really interested in me. It may not be a she at all. It might turn out to be a rooster. That's kind of how Big Bird acted with me, my first rooster. He was a buff Orpington. He was real friendly with me, always on me, always wanting attention. And he got a little wild on me one day when he got older, so we'll see what happens here. Jamming to some Christmas music, working on this upstairs room a little more. Got a couple more circuits in for lights, heat. Also working on the ceiling. Howdy y'all, today is December 8th. I only had enough sugar for one candy board, so I need to go grab some more. So we're gonna see if I can find a large bag in here. It's really nice outside. We're almost at 60 degrees, high 50s. A lot of bees flying around. Bees are actually really hygienic, and if bees die in the hive in the summertime or when it's warm, they'll actually take the dead bees and fly them out. In the wintertime, they just kind of pile up until we get a warm day like today, and then they'll start kicking out all the bees that died. So just gonna make sure that everything looks good in there. I'm not gonna crack it open or do any sort of inspection. I'm just gonna make sure that I get this candy board on there for them, and they'll be fine. I saw lots of good looking bees when I opened that up. Tons of bees in there. That's a great feeling. I didn't see any moisture on that inner cover either, which is a great sign. So this colony looks like it's doing pretty good so far. I think I noticed the pearl whites more than the other chickens just because the feathers are white. All the other birds have already went through the molt, but the pearl whites were hanging on for a long time. They recently just started dropping on egg production, and now they're going through the molt. So it looks like with all these feathers, you know, a chicken just got chopped up in a mower. So it was a little alarming, but it's truly just them molting. Well, y'all, got this front wall here completely insulated, so that's a good feeling. Got it in between the boards, got insulation, and then the insulation actually between the studs there. So all this insulation was either given to me, scrapped, or just found it somewhere. It's really nice stuff. It doesn't have to be brand new as long as it's insulation and it works. A lot of these rolls were open but just not fully used, so it's just perfect for stuff like this. This one I got out of a house. There was a demo going on, so the insulation was intact and looked nice, so be perfect for a barn. But that feels really good having that wall done. I will have to buy quite a bit more insulation for that wall, the wall behind me, and the other wall, but it feels good to have this done. Haven't opened this roll yet. I think this will be for the floor though, but that's some nice stuff too. So just rolls that weren't being used, so super handy to have. The ground's still pretty soft, but I was able to get a few passes on this without it clumping up too bad. So just got it all raked out. Kind of losing sunlight here, so I don't know if I'll get to much planting. I have about 20 minutes of light left, so might as well go ahead and do a little bit of planting. Man, these things are really growing. definitely got to get these in the ground ASAP. Well, y'all, it's getting a little too dark to see anymore, but I was booking it, and I got almost halfway. I got over here to the flags. I still got another good chunk to do. Hopefully all these bags will fit in this one row. Maybe I'll need to till up another one. I'm already late putting these in, so the ones I got in today were these two. I got them mostly done. This is all I have left of either of them. There's maybe 2, 4, 6, 8 in there, and I don't know, 10 or so in there. So yeah, I am really happy I at least got that much done before it got dark.